Welcome guys to the Meet Damien channel. Once again, I'm Damien, and the price of Bitcoin not doing so hot right now. We see the price of Bitcoin trading at $86,200 right now, down $5,000 from where it was the end of last night, or around last night. Okay, let's get into the charts here to figure out how far down Bitcoin's gonna go down. Because I know some of you guys are all wondering, how far down is this gonna go? Where's the support? When are we gonna get a bounce? Something to that nature, right? So let me just zoom out here on the daily chart, and we'll try to figure this out. I mean, if you guys have been on the live streams the past few days, you might already know what the levels we're looking for here. Okay, but right now Bitcoin is trading at the 0.236 level at 86,600, which is a level that we were looking for, or been looking for. This is a Fibonacci level, where the fib is pulled from $74,000, where Bitcoin was at back in April, to the highs that it made here at $126,000. So I think this is still a useful Fibonacci to look at. That's why I still have it locked on to the side over here, give us a little bit of a reference point. Okay. But how far down could it go if that level doesn't stick? We'll have to pull up the VRVP indicator here, which is the visual range volume profile indicator that I'm going to pull up. It's going to show over here on the right all the volume, all the people that were buying and selling. The buys are the green, the red or the pink is like the sells at various price points all throughout well, since this is data going back to like December of 2024. Okay, so basically all year long, this is where people were buying Bitcoin, and the highest volume node was 96K, which I thought was going to be a strong support level for Bitcoin, but we sliced through that like nothing. I mean, there was a little bit of a fight here at $96,000 for like a couple of days, and then we just said sayonara to that high volume node there. Okay, so the next high volume node below us, below 96K, was going to be 88K, which we were looking for yesterday, and we actually came down, and I thought 88K could be an area where we could hold for some support. But now we're losing 88K, and how far down could we possibly go is like the next question, right? Everybody wants to know, how far down is Bitcoin going to go? When are we going to get a bounce? When are we going to get a relief rally? When are we going to get something to help us, with our spot bags here in crypto? Okay, so the next level to look for, if 88K is not going to hold, which we just saw 88K is not holding today, the next level is this level right here at 84,000. Okay, we've got another high volume node here at 84,000, and then we have a value area low. This is a white line at like 81,800. Some people say 82K, so you might have been listening to some other people saying like 82K or 84 or 85K. Basically, the low 80s is where we're expecting some support for Bitcoin, or at least that's where I'm expecting support for Bitcoin. And the main reason is because this is an area that we actually had a little bit of fight here back here in March and April, where we saw Bitcoin at $80,000, $82,000, $84,000. The VRVP indicator takes that into account, but if you guys don't know how to fire up the VRVP indicator, if your chart looks something like this where you're not able to see, okay, you can just look at previous price action back here in March and April, and you can say that, all right, the people that bought here in March and April, they're actually still in profit right now until we come down to these levels at like 82K, 84K. And then they start, sweating bullets, sweating bricks, whatever you want to call it, whatever analogy you want to use. They start to become anxious once Bitcoin gets down to 82K, but they're not going to click the sell button right away until we lose like 82K. Okay, once we lose 82K, then there might have been some more talk. You might have heard of people saying that we could come down to like 74K, which is where Bitcoin was bottoming out near the first and second week of April here. Okay. Around like April 10th, we saw Bitcoin as low as 74,553, and April 7th, we saw it at 74,420 and 69. There's still some funny people out there. Somebody decided to buy Bitcoin at 74,420 and 69 cents. So yeah, there's some jokesters out there, but that's actually the low for the year for 2025. $74,420.69 is possibly where we could get some support at if 82 and 84K is not going to hold. But yeah, I think Bitcoin is on its way down to 84K until otherwise. I think right now Wall Street has the most Bitcoin to sell. Once they're done selling, once they go home for tonight, we might get another relief rally, kind of like we did last night. Well, it kind of started like towards around like 3 p.m. Eastern time, so that's like an hour before Wall Street closed for the day. Yeah, when Wall Street starts closing for the day, I think there won't be that much selling pressure, and I'll look at the charts to find out if that's going to be the case, but. I think it'll be we'll get pretty much like a repeat of yesterday, where we get a little bit of a relief rally, probably going into the evening hours, probably like while everybody's sleeping is when Bitcoin is actually going to start climbing back up again, right? Once Wall Street's done selling and once the retail crowd is done panic selling here, then then people in Asia and Europe, they can actually buy some cheap Bitcoin once America is done panicking over here. And I'm not sure why we are panicking, because we actually had a good jobs report. I kind of know why. It's very counterintuitive when you think about it. Wall Street's a little bit unhappy about there not being a possible interest rate cut next month, because we actually had a good jobs report came in showing that we actually had a lot more jobs than we thought we were going to make for the month of September. Yeah, it's the month of September, because the government was shut down and they're just trying to catch up to like the data that they've been collecting but not really been able to release yet. So Wall Street's not happy about the possibility of there not being an interest rate cut, which is bleeding into crypto, and crypto's been bleeding, so this is just more blood for crypto here. Let me just catch up on the chat, see what you guys are saying here. DZ saying we're cooked, Damien. There's not going to be any more Latinas. I'm sorry to hear that, DZ. You're going to have to probably find another way to impress the Latinas. You might have to come up with a personality or something. Maybe try to be funny or something. Okay. But yeah, that's funny that you say that. What else did DZ say here? He said that he was wondering why the markets dumped today. Well, I kind of just said that just now, that we had a bad jobs report. Also, Nvidia had good earnings yesterday, but I was listening to like Meet Kevin on his broadcast on his YouTube channel, and he was saying something like they dug deep into the reports that showed that Nvidia was actually sending money to their customers. That way, their customers could then buy their chips. So there's a little bit of funny monkey business going on right now with the AI stocks, which is one of the reasons why the stock market's been doing so well, is because of AI stocks. So if they're not really making solid money, if they're paying their customers to then pay them, then there might be some room to go to the downside here. Let's see. We got MX La in the chat here. Good to see you, bro. And Laureen's in here. She said, where would there be a decent entry if I know... where would there be a decent entry? I know not financial advice, but you know what I mean for a bounce. Yeah, so that's what we're going to try to figure out right now. I think I kind of gave it to you already. where Bitcoin, I'm expecting a little bit of a bounce, a little bit of a reaction at 84K, and anything below anywhere between 82 and 84K is what I'm looking for Bitcoin. Let's see. I'm catching up on the chat here. Steve Hickey says hello to me. Hello to you, Steve. And then Lorene says, I think a bottom is temporarily in if it falls from here, but might go to the bottom as it's losing the neckline. Massive M pattern. You're wondering if it's bouncing right now. So I actually am trying to get into a I'm trying to get into a Bitcoin short at $86,900. I'm a little bit curious if it actually filled my order here. Let's see, did it? Why is the price? There's a little bit of discrepancy in the price here on Mexi Exchange. All right, yeah, the data needs to be refreshed, but it looks like I just entered the short right now. What is going on? So yeah, I entered the short at 86,900, and right now the price is trading at 86,400, and I'm up about 20 bucks on my short there with Bitcoin. All right, so with that being said, yeah, I thought I was gonna see if this trade was gonna get, I was gonna try to see if I can get into this trade while being live with you guys, but it looks like it did it while I was talking here. What is going on? Now the price of Bitcoin is at 87,000. So something's up here with Mexi Exchange. I think I gotta refresh the page here. Oh no, what is going on? What is this nonsense here? All right, let me just refresh this all over again. Hopefully my internet's still good. My live stream is just give me a 1 in the chat if you guys are still there, because right now Mexi's just not working for me right now. Okay, whatever. All right, let me just catch up on the chat here on TikTok, and then I'll try to see if I can fix things with Mexi over here. Let's see, what are you guys saying? I gotta catch up on the chat. You guys been saying a lot of things here. We got a few people on the TikTok here. Appreciate you guys coming on to TikTok. We have a guy here saying, look at the 50K ETH. ETH won't go below 2K. Okay. Shaking out the weak hands is what it seems like it's doing. Should you buy Bitcoin now is a question here. I think Bitcoin might come down to 84K, and then you can probably buy a little bit if you're inclined to do so. Let's see. Look at us. We go to 1 trillion, so I can put my house on it. I'm just trying to catch up on the chat here. Some of the stuff is hard to read. Ethereum is your play. 2 years, $20,000 for sure. Okay. If now we dump, we can imagine 22. Bitcoin to 81K is, and XRP to $1.91 is what Seven's saying. And then what about Solana? You've been buying a lot of it, is what Danny's doing. All right, so I'll write down Solana as a request. And then let's see if there's anything else here for requests here. All right, Booyah wrote a 1. Yeah, I just wanted to check because I think my internet was messing up there for my YouTube guys. And Lorraine put a 1 in the chat as well. Mexi says Bitcoin's at 87K. All right, right now Coinbase is trading at 86,700. Let me go back into Mexi, see if that thing is working for me here. All right, yeah, something got messed up. I think probably because so many people are on the exchange right now, panic selling. So yeah, we're at $86,700 here on Mexi. All right, no more reminders, please. Yeah, so annoying. Anyways, so I got into the trade here. All I'm doing is I'm just playing momentum. I'm trying to take this down to $84,000 for the short. And the reason why I chose to get in at 86,900 was because I saw on the 21 EMA on the 5-minute time frame that Bitcoin was trading at the 21 EMA was showing that 86,900 is where Bitcoin could possibly come up to. And, you know, I waited. You know, I know Bitcoin came down to 86K here, but I waited until we came back up to this 21 EMA. And then I got filled. We came above the 21 EMA. We actually went up as high as 87,121. And I was able to get filled at 86,900. My stop loss is at 87,400. And if I zoom out, let me see, blow up the screen up a little bit here. But yeah, my stop loss 87,400, and my take profit is going to be down at 84K, is where I think we could see a significant bounce for Bitcoin. For those who are waiting to see, you know, how far down could Bitcoin go, I think 84K is coming up on deck here. Let's go into the 15-minute time frame here. We see that selling pressure has been brutal, right, on the MACD here. Starting to die off on the 15-minute time frame, so maybe I might not be in this short for too long. I might actually get stopped out, who knows, okay? Because if this starts turning into buying pressure in the next hour or two, then yeah, you know, we could see 87K all over again. And if we go to 87,100, I'll get stopped out. Matter of fact, I should probably move my stop loss to break even. That's what I'm going to do right now, so I don't lose money, okay? Right now, my stop loss is at 87,400. I would lose $24 if I kept it that way. I'm gonna put it at 86,900, and I won't lose any money. I'm in this trade for free now, okay? But if we go down 84K, I'll make 140 bucks. I'll be up 133% on the trade. So there we go. I just moved my stop loss to break even. We shall see, okay? Let me just zoom in on the chart here, see if I like that area. Yeah, because you know, if we come up to 86,900, we're basically going to be going above the candle wick open and close on the 15-minute time frame. So I got my stop loss right there. What's the likelihood that we come up here? There could be a possible likelihood that we could come up and I get stopped out. But if I do it, I'll only be stopped out at break even. Okay. So I like where I'm at on this trade. Unfortunately, Bitcoin has to go down in order for me to make money. I wish it was the other way around. I want to actually start long in Bitcoin, but the time to long Bitcoin was actually last night. We can do a little quick review about what happened with last night. Let me get back into the charts on TradingView here, and I'll go into the we'll go into the 15-minute time frame here. So just quickly looking at Bitcoin one more time here before I talk about Solana. You know, yesterday, right? Yesterday we saw Bitcoin drop all the way down to like 88,400 or 500, somewhere in that area, right? And we had some bullish divergence. I don't know if I can pull it up here, but there was some bullish divergence showing up where we were getting some higher lows on the RSI. Okay. Also, there was liquidity. Liquidity was to the upside. So we came down to 88K. That was an area to look for a bounce, and we kind of got that, especially after Wall Street closed up and went home for the day around like 3-4 o'clock in the afternoon on the East Coast of America. Once they were done selling, then we got that little bit of a relief rally, and it just kept going up and up and up. They didn't really give people a chance to actually buy in if they wanted to. There was like no correction. There was no like higher low. Okay. We only went sideways around like yesterday evening time, okay? And then we caught more bids and went up above the 200 moving average on the 15-minute time frame, okay? And I last night I was trying to look for shorts, okay? But we kept pushing up, and I got stopped out. So I was like, all right, whatever. This thing is, you know, it was like around like 12 o'clock last night. On the East Coast is when, you know, the price of Bitcoin stopped going up. But by that point, I wanted to go to bed. Okay, so that was actually the time to actually enter a short was when I went to bed, because, you know, after that we started slowly drifting down, and we were waiting for good news from the jobs report. It actually was good for the economy that we had people adding jobs to the economy, but the stock market doesn't like that because there was too many jobs that got added. Too many jobs got added, which means that the Federal Reserve is not going to lower interest rates. They're most likely not going to lower interest rates in December unless inflation comes down pretty significantly. Maybe there might be a chance, but we have to wait for the CPI report. But in the meantime, markets didn't like that. They also looked at Nvidia's earnings, and they didn't like that either, because they feel like they're, just giving money to their customers and to have the customers pay them eventually. And we got sent down. Wall Street came in. They started selling around 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock Eastern time here. And we're on our way down probably to 84K here. Okay, 84K. So that's a little quick recap of what the price action and what I've seen on the charts and what I believe is going on right now. But yeah, let me get into looking at the Solana for Danny, and then we'll see if there's any other more requests here. All right. If not, I'll go back to trying to manage my trade here. Hopefully Bitcoin doesn't stomp me out, but maybe it does. My stop loss might be a little bit too tight, but we shall see. I can always enter in again if I need to. But let's look at Solana right now. Solana is currently trading at $133. I think it's getting close to a support zone, or at least an area that we were looking for, which is previous price action, showing that Solana did get down to like $126 on June 22nd. You would think there should be some support at that area that people would try to throw their hat in the ring and try to buy some Solana, anywhere between like 125 to like 132, like where we're at right now on Solana. Let me throw on the VRVP indicator to see what the VRVP has to say about support levels here. So I got the VRVP indicator. This is this green and red indicator off on the right, showing you the buys of the green, the red is the sells. And what do we have here? We have some volume here, right? There's some volume here at 125 bucks, okay? And then there's also volume right here at like 129, 130 bucks. So we're already at the support zone for Solana, right? Where you would think Solana should get some support and try to go to higher prices here. All right, it has to slice through the support in order for us to go to lower prices. And if we slice through 125 bucks, then there is another high volume node at $105. $105 is where Solana could go next if 125 doesn't hold up for support. Okay, but you can use the VRVP indicator to kind of figure out how high Solana could possibly go, right? By looking at this, the volume here. If we do start climbing up, there is a little bit of resistance at $150. Okay, you got a high volume node here at $150, which is an area that people were buying back here in the beginning of November, but also they were also buying here back here in July and June. So $150 is your near-term upside target on Solana if we're able to climb back up to that area. We also got the 21 EMA, this little white line that's dropping down. That's sitting at $155. That should act as resistance initially if we actually go up to those higher prices for Solana. And then of course, if Solana can make it past 150 bucks, then we got the blue line here. This is the point of control. The highest volume node here is sitting at about $177. That would be the next area of resistance for Solana. That might be a good area to get out of Solana if you're anxious to get out. That might be the highest price you're able to get. However, if we do go up to $177 here on Solana, that would actually create a higher high on the daily time frame here, because right here you have a lower high sitting at about $171. Okay, $171 would be nice if we can get up to that area, but that could be resistance as well if we do climb back up. So your targets to the upside: 155, 171, and also 177 is where the VRVP indicator was showing a lot of volume at. And then also there's a 200-day moving average sitting at 180 bucks. So anywhere between like 170 to 180, good area to get out of Solana if you're trying to sell it at higher prices. But you might not get that. You might only get 155. DZ wants to look at ALCX and Toshi. All right, we'll take a look at those for you. And then I kind of want to look at my trade again, because I'm doing a little bit of I'm doing both requests and trying to manage a trade, manage a short here. And I did have someone that was asking me like what was my leverage on the short. Let me just answer that question for them. So my leverage is here on the left. I'm in a 40x short on Solana. I mean on Bitcoin. Okay. And I got in at $86,900. My stop loss is at $86,900. I'm up about 22 bucks on this trade here. Just a small trade here, showing you guys what it's like to trade on Mexi Exchange. And yeah, if I see any good trade setups, I might actually get into another trade here. But right now, I think the shorts are playing out on Bitcoin, and I kind of want to make some money while I'm talking to you guys here on the chat. I see Darren's in the chat. How you doing, Darren? Over here, Darren. I'm actually looking at my cryptocurrency exchange, Mexi. I'm shorting Bitcoin right now, which is a way to make some money while Bitcoin's dropping down. And I'm up about $21 on that trade right now for my Bitcoin short. And I got my stop loss at break even. My break even is 86,900. So even if I do get stopped out, I'm not going to lose any money on this trade. Because I think we already done enough losing as is, all right? Because I don't want to lose any more money. I kind of want to make money now. So, yeah, shorting Bitcoin seems to be the way to make money these days. Let me catch up on the chat here on TikTok. See what you guys are saying. Thank you, Lorraine, for liking the live here. Guys, don't forget to hit the like button if you haven't done so already. Appreciate the likes and subscribes. If you guys are new to the channel, you can subscribe on YouTube, and you can follow me here on TikTok. Let's see how my TikTok's doing real quick here. I got a few new followers here. Thank you guys for following me. Zia and Nunu. Thank you. Let me click the refresh, see what the follower count's looking like right now. I'm at 5,590 on the followers here. And if you guys have questions about the indicators that I'm using, I do have a video here on the VRVP indicator that I just pulled up here. Shows you how I set it up and how I trade using the VRVP indicator. So that might be a useful video for you to look at. Looks like I got 1,700 views on it, so people are learning as much as they can about the VRVP indicator on my TikTok channel here. And then I got a video here on the Fibonacci tool, and then another video here about how to trade and how to read the charts, how to read the RSI, the MACD, the stochastic RSI indicators here. That all these videos are pinned on the top of my TikTok channel here. And then of course, you can always look at my videos here. It looks like I had another popular video here about how to trade Coinbase futures, how to trade futures on Coinbase. It's becoming a pretty popular video right now. And then of course, you can always look at my other analysis on like Amazon, XRP, CoAI, Netflix, and Tesla, the price of silver. I do it all. I try to do it all for you guys here. Anyways, let me get back into the chats here. I got a couple of requests here from DZ asking about ALCX and Toshi. Lorraine's asking me to do a video on Mexi Exchange and a demo trade maybe. Maybe I can do a tutorial video on Mexi Exchange. Yeah, that's a good idea. Thank you for the idea, Lorraine. I'll let you know when I actually make that video, and then I'll post it up on the Discord, and I'll post it up on TikTok and YouTube as well. Yep. All right. Let's take a look at ALCX. Alright, so ALCX currently trading at $9.72, down 5.9% today. I'll get rid of the VRVP indicator for now. We can always turn it on back later if we need to. But I have measured a Fibonacci for ALCX from like $6.13 was where it was as low as $6.13 on November 4th, and then we caught the bids here the first week of November, and we topped out at 20 bucks here, roughly. Okay, so let me just readjust this to like 20 bucks here, so it says it right there. Okay, yeah, there we go. All right, much better, much better. I'll lock that in. All right, so we got Fibonacci levels to look for here. Looks like ALCX looks like it came down to the deep retracement at this 0.236 level, $9.40. We got down as low as 9.51 earlier today, but we got lower than 9.40 during right after that initial pump up, and we got some support off the moving averages. I am still going to be bullishly biased towards this asset until you lose the 200-day moving average, that red line at $9.18. Once you lose that, then maybe you are going to be in a bear market soon. I would expect an initial reaction off of these moving averages because you got support off the moving reactions around the first week of November. You would think you should get some support again coming around this area. So I think you're getting close to support on ALCX. Probably the same as Bitcoin getting close to support as well. All right. I think if Bitcoin goes 84K, then ALCX might come down to that 200-day moving average. And then if Bitcoin gets a bounce off 84K, I think ALCX will get a bounce off this 200-day moving average as well. If Bitcoin goes to 84K like it doesn't exist and it just drops down to like 80K or in the 70s, then this thing is probably going to drop down like these moving averages don't exist. And then if it does drop down, I mean, how much lower could it go? I mean, we did see some sideways trading action here at 775. Now, this is where I want to pull up the VRVP indicator to see what kind of support there might be using the visual range volume profile indicator. Okay, so right now we have a value area low sitting at like $7.98, roughly $8. So yeah, we could drop down if we lose them. If we don't get support off the moving averages here, then we could drop down to like $8 here, and that might be where you get a support. You might stop the bleeding at $8. But if you don't stop the bleeding at $8, then it gets a little bit even more nastier. You know what? We could come down to lows here on November 4th, where we're at like $6.12 all over again. Yikes! But those are the downside targets: $8, and then of course $6 below that, and then you got the moving averages right below you that could provide support below you. And if this thing does catch some bids and we get a nice bounce, there is some resistance at this blue line. That's your point of control. You could get some resistance at $10, which is not too far off from where we are right now. Okay, but if you can get past $10 and it does look a little bit hopeful, right? If we get some optimism in the markets again, then maybe, right, the volume starts to drop off here and there's not much significant resistance until this white line, but I see a little bit of volume here at like $12. Then there's also some volume here at $12.88, but you got some more volume here. The value area high sitting at $13.34, and I believe $13.34 is right next to this Fibonacci level here. Yeah, this 0.5 retracement at $13. If I can just zoom in on that, $13. So I think $13 is the most you can hope for to the upside in the near to short term here. And we'll just have to wait and see, are we able to get up to $13? And then if we get up to $13, then, we'll have to revisit this and see, what the next level might be for ALCX. All right, so that was ALCX. Let's go ahead and take a look at Toshi. Alright, Toshi. Currently trading at 3780 is how I'm going to describe this number. You're down 6.1% today. We were looking at Toshi, weren't we? Because we were trying to game plan like, I believe we were trying to game plan like what, how much upside potential this could have if we bottom out where we're at right now. However, looking at the previous analysis for Toshi, there was a bear flag, right? Okay, I'm gonna give you the downside targets first. There was a bear flag, right, that I measured, and the bear flag was looking like this, right? And this was the bear flag. Let me just extend this out a little bit more, but obviously we were kind of flagging out here with the bear flag, And if this is a bear flag and we get the measured move, then you take where that measured move, you put this little flagpole right where we're breaking out, and we have a target to the downside right now where Toshi could come down to 2900, that blue number right there. So maybe that's where we're on our way down, right? If Bitcoin's going to go to 84K or the low 80s or maybe even the 70s, maybe Toshi's going to come down to like 2900 here. And you could enter a short if you want to and short it down, make some money maybe. And then maybe you could wait until we get down to 2900 to try to long this asset. Maybe we get a bounce at 2900. And if you do that, right, if you're going to plan this out where we long Toshi at 2900, we'll just put the stop loss really tight where we're only going to lose about maybe 10% on our stop loss. So 10% on this is about, you're going to put your stop loss at like 2600, okay? And you're going to just try and see if Toshi can get back up to, the 200-day moving average. The 200-day moving average is sitting at 6200. So, yeah, that'll be your ultimate take profit target, right? This is just a day trade or a swing trade. And you're going to basically double your money if you're able to buy it at 2900 and sell at 6200. That's 112% gain. Your risk reward ratio is 10.8 if you're able to buy Toshi at 2900. Okay. And it's a good risk reward ratio because the stop loss is really tight. You're only going to lose 10%. So you're risking 10% to try and get 112%. And you get a risk reward ratio of 10.8. That's what I would do here for Toshi. If I was inclined to do a long, if I wanted to buy the dip here on Toshi, and then, as far as like how high could it possibly go, if it just gets a mean reversion right back up to the red line here, the 200-day moving average, then that's about 112% gain. Alrighty. Let's take a look at my my trade here on Mexi, see if I'm still in it. Looks like I'm still in it. Is Bitcoin trying to cast some bids here? What I'm looking here on the 15-minute time frame is I see the MACD, the selling pressure is starting to decrease. We're not getting increase in selling pressure. We're actually starting to get a little bit of buying pressure here with some green showing up here on the MACD on the indicator here. So that has me a little bit worried. You can see we got some wicks here. So there are buyers that are stepping in with these wicks. So I might get stopped out, guys. I might have to take profit on my short right now. Because if I don't, I might not be able to get profit. And you know what? I'm in the trade for free. I'll let this one play out. Let me get back into the charts here. Let's look at Bitcoin on the 15-minute time frame on TradingView, and then we'll get into the 5-minute time frame. So here on Bitcoin, right, trading at 86,549 on Coinbase exchange. This is data coming from Coinbase. And if I pull up my oscillators here, let's see, are we getting bullish I don't see any bullish divergence. We're making lower lows on the RSI on the 15-minute time. Oh, okay, never mind. I take that back. I'm looking at the daily chart. Forget what I just said there for the last 10 seconds. All right. Ooh, okay, here we go. Okay. All right. 15-minute time frame. Making higher lows here on the RSI. I feel like the selling pressure is dying off here. I'm a little bit inclined to actually take profit on my short. I could even, I could be a little bit ballsy. I could just reverse it into a long. Okay. Let's see. Let's see what it looks like on the 5-minute time frame. 5-minute time frame, you can still see that bullish divergence showing up. So I guess buyers are liking $86,000 right now. The bleeding looks like it's slowing down. We are coming up onto the 21 EMA on the 5-minute time frame. Usually if you get above the 21 EMA and you can use it as support, then that's bullish, and that could be the beginning of an uptrend, at least on the 5-minute time frame. So I'm watching how this candle closes on the 5-minute time frame. I just want to stick with this. If we close above this, which we're kind of doing right now, but if we close above this 21 EMA and then we get another candle close above, this could be the beginning of the reversal, if there is going to be a reversal here. So it looks like I showed up too late on my short here. I might have to take profit. It's a little bit dicey here. Okay. I'm just watching it right now. Let's see, what else can we see on the oscillators here? On the MACD 5-minute time frame, there is buying pressure showing up. So buyers are here, guys. They are showing up. It doesn't just drop down like a rock, even though it might feel like that. There are people trying to buy Bitcoin at these prices right now. And then let's see, on market cipher B indicator, we even got bullish divergence on the market cipher B, because even though price is going down, we're making higher lows here on the momentum. You get some green buy dots here. You got some green showing up on the money flow. Yeah, I'm gonna close out my short. I'm gonna try to make some money here, right? Ugh. I might not even be able to see. I'm only up $3 here on my short. Yeah, I'm gonna probably have to. I'm gonna do a reverse. I'm gonna be a little bit ballsy. I'm gonna stay in the trade and reverse it. This is how you reverse a trade on Mexi. You just click that reverse button, confirm it, boom. I'm out of the short, and now I'm in a long on Bitcoin. So I have a 40x long now here on Bitcoin. You can see that. And the thing you have to remind yourself when you do a reverse is you don't have a stop loss. You got to put the stop loss in. So I don't like to lose more than $20. So let's see. They got me in at $86,826. I don't want to lose more than $20 on the long now. So 86. Let's see what 86,500. Okay. So I'll lose $15 on that. I can go a little bit lower than that. 86. Let's try 86. Let's try 86,200. I'll lose $30 on that. 86,450 maybe. No, 86,400. I'll lose $20 on that. Okay, so I'll lose $20 if Bitcoin goes down to 86,400. And my take profit. Well, we got to figure that out. How high could Bitcoin possibly go here? So we went past the 21 EMA like we're doing right now on the 5-minute time frame. Where are the other moving averages? We got a 50 moving average above us at 89,290. I'm not sure how likely we are to get back up to $89,000, but that is the closest moving average to the upside. Maybe coming back to like where we were on the lows for yesterday. 88,400. That could be a more likely target. So I think I'm gonna try that for my take profit. 88,400. So I'll make like $76 on the trade if we get up to that area. I'm gonna go ahead and click confirm. Boom. I'm in that. Now I gotta take profit at 88,400 and the stop loss at 86,400. And I feel okay with being in the long now because of the bullish divergence that we're seeing on the charts. Selling pressure is dying down, right? Selling pressure on the 15-minute time frame is dying down, and you're getting buying pressure showing up here. We might have seen the lows for today. I'm not saying that we did. I'm not 100% going to guarantee it, but we might have seen the lows for today at like 2 o'clock. East Coast time, Eastern time here, where Bitcoin got down to like 86K. And now you're getting a little bit of a bounce here. Alright, let me go back in the chat, see what you guys are saying in the chat here. So you guys just saw me do a close in reverse on Mexi, where I went, I was shorting it, made a little bit of money, but then I saw things are starting to change up here, and I decided to do a close in reverse on Mexi, where now I'm in a long instead of a short. Marine, you said there's a bull flag on the 5-minute chart. Uh, 5-minute chart here on Bitcoin. Let's see what Lorraine's saying here. Is this what you're calling a bull flag? I guess. Maybe. So if this is your little mini bull flag here, let's try to draw this out. Are you a pattern trader, Lorraine? Patterns is one of the first things a lot of traders learn when they first start trading. It's always good to know your patterns. They usually play out more likely on larger time frames. 5-minute time frames, there's no guarantee that they play out. But if this is going to play out and this is a bull flag on Bitcoin on the 5-minute time frame, let's just say we break out at the price that we're at right now, okay, 86,597. Then we could see 87K, 87,630 on your little bull flag that you think that we're in right now. I want to see this, in order for it to be a confirmed bull flag, we got to see a little bit more data. We want to see this thing complete. It's, if this is a consolidation right here, we want to see it consolidate and complete the pattern where it's at 70 or 80% complete. And then usually you can expect a breakout in the last 10, 20 or 30% of the pattern here. So, and a bull flag, if it is a bull flag, it usually does break out to the upside. So this is, the measured move here, 87K, 87,600, basically like a 1,000-point move. Yeah, 86.2. 87, yeah, we'll probably get like a 1,000-point move up to the upside from where we are right now. Hey Snack, thank you for following me here on TikTok. Let's see, what else are we saying here on TikTok? Ammo, thank you for following me here on TikTok. Matt Dillon has a great question here. He's asking me what kind of indicators do I use when I'm trading. All right, so I use moving averages, especially when I'm day trading and on smaller time frames. And right now, I have moving averages that I'm looking at on Bitcoin. This white line is the 21 EMA, okay? This white line closely follows the price, and it will catch up to where the price is at before the other moving averages do. And the other moving averages is the 50 moving average. This is the green line. And then the blue line is the 100 moving average, and the red line is the 200 moving average. Okay. When we're in a bear market or a downtrend, this is what the moving average is going to look like. The price is going to be below all the moving averages. The white line will be above the price, and then the green, the blue, and the red are above it. When we're in a bull, a bull market or an uptrend, I have to go back now because I might have to go into the 15-minute time frame here. But when we're in an uptrend, this is what the averages look like. Okay, where the 200 moving average is below all the other lines, the blue one's above the red, the green's above the blue, and the white is trying to catch up to the price as best as it can. And usually when you start losing the 21 EMA, when the price gets below the 21 EMA, that's like the beginning of a downtrend. Okay. When the price goes below the 200 moving average, that's the beginning of that. I mean, that's the downtrend being confirmed. And then we see the price go below the 200 moving average, and then the other moving averages start trying to catch up to the price, and the price the white line tries to catch up to the price as well. And then when I'm on these smaller time frames, I'm just trading. If I'm just trading like a momentum trader, I'm trading off the white line, and in this case, when we're shorting it, I like to enter a short when we come up to the white line, because usually it will get rejected in a downtrend, and when it does, I can make money on a short, and then the price will start to try to climb back up to the white line again, and then if it's still bearish, then it will get rejected, right, until we hit like a pivot point. And you know, the pivot point, I have to determine that using either Fibonacci, or I determine that using like the VRVP indicator. And when we do actually get a reversal, then you see the price starts to get above this white line, the 21 exponential moving average, and it starts using it as support, okay? And eventually, you know, you cast more bids and you're able to get, you know, to higher prices where you get above the green line, the blue line, and the red line. So this, you know, using these moving averages, some people call this like the 5 moving average strategy. I actually have 4 moving averages that I use. I use the 21 EMA, the 50, and the 100 and the 200. I could put another moving average in there if I want to, but I think this is enough for me. I already know how to use this in my my trading strategies. And yeah, this is just using the moving averages as a strategy, which is great if you're a momentum trader. Okay. But then as far as like other indicators go, let me get into the daily time frame now here on Bitcoin. So, you know, momentum's great, but you just don't know when you're going to get a reversal, okay? And to plan out when you might get a reversal, that's when I use the Fibonacci indicator here, okay? This is the Fibonacci tool where I pull the fib. You know, I pulled it from like 126K all the way down to 74K. And it gives me like these, I don't know, you can call it like magic. It gives me these Fibonacci levels that are like magic levels to look for. And this is all based off, it's not magic, it's all based off of science and in nature, and where people are most likely going to, you know, buy or sell. And right now it's telling me that from all the price action that we did since 74K in April all the way up to 126K in October, $86,000 is the level to look out for where we could get a pivot. So, you know, you could continue shorting like I've been doing this afternoon, but there usually comes a point where shorting doesn't work all the time and you get a reversal. And I'm, you know, this Fibonacci kind of shows me like where the reversal might happen. It could happen at 86K, kind of like where we're at right now. Okay. So, you know, with that being said, you know, if I'm going back into the small time frames here, I'm looking at the 15-minute time frame on Bitcoin. And then what I'll do now is, you know, to try to confirm if we're getting a reversal, I'll look at the RSI, the relative strength indicator. And if this relative strength indicator is showing higher lows, okay, after we're making lower lows on price, that shows that the buyers are actually coming in and you're getting bullish divergence, okay? So I have, you know, lower lows here on price, but I have higher lows here on the RSI. That's a divergence, that's bullish divergence. That probably means that we're gonna get a reversal soon on the price of Bitcoin, okay? And then I can start game planning. Okay, well, where do I want to long Bitcoin and where do I want to put my stop loss? I can put the stop loss below the low for today. And if I'm wrong, that means we're going lower, okay? But if I'm right, then, you know, if the price starts creeping up to higher prices, then, you know, I can move my stop loss to break even and I can continue playing this out until maybe we get up to this 21 EMA on the 15-minute time frame at 87K. That's where I would try to target for take profit. So, all that being said, those are the indicators that I use. That's the strategy I try to come up with getting into longs and shorts here. And if you need like a good review about like the indicators here, like, you know, RSI, right? MACD indicator here, okay? I get into that on my TikTok, right? I got that video right here, okay? It has like 500 views. I think it should have more than that, but this is like a tutorial video on how to set up the chart, how to do the moving averages, and how to do the how to read and analyze the stochastic RSI, the regular RSI, and the MACD. And then, you know, I got this other video here that shows you how I do the Fibonacci, okay? And those videos are all pinned up to the top of my channel here. Might be worth you checking out. And for my YouTube guys, I do have those videos here on YouTube as well. You just have to go into the videos, go into the Meet Damien channel. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button if you haven't subscribed yet. And there's that video for the VRVP indicator. There's a video for the Fibonacci, and then the tutorial video, how to read a candlestick chart and the RSI and MACD. That video is right over there on YouTube as well. Okay. Alrighty, let's get back into the chat. Matt, I'm glad you love that info there. I'm just trying to spread the knowledge here as best as I can. Silicon Road Shop is asking me what leverage am I using. I'm using 40x leverage for my Bitcoin long and short right now. Let's see. Bitcoin looks like it's coming down right now, so I might actually get stopped out. Where's my stop loss at? 86,400. Yeah, okay, let's see. Are the buyers going to step in, or am I going to get stopped out? Are they going to try to come after me? If I get stopped out, I might actually try to get back in again. But you were asking me what I do for leverage here. There's about a 40x long leverage right there on Bitcoin. What's my take profit? My take profit, we were trying to aim for like, let's go back into the charts here again. My take profits at 88,400, which is the low from yesterday, right? We came down to like 88,004 or 500. That's where my take profits at on my Bitcoin long. Because, you know, the idea behind that is, you know, whoever bought here, they might actually up. I got stopped out on my Bitcoin long, so I have to get back into it again. Whoever bought Bitcoin around here, they might actually not have been in it for the long term, and because they're underwater now, if Bitcoin comes back up to break even, they might actually try to sell, and that's where my take profit is going to be, at the same point where they're going to click the sell button. I mean, that's the idea. I could always take profit before that as well. What is this thing doing? Alright, TikTok. TikTok's kind of annoying me right now. Alright, thank you, Silicon Road Shop, for following me here on TikTok. So I got knocked out of my trade. My stop loss may have been a little bit too tight. Let's see, are we actually going to go down lower here on Bitcoin? Because if we do, I might be able to get a better price to buy in on Bitcoin. So I kind of want to follow the charts here on the 15-minute time frame. Let's see, let's go into the 5-minute time frame. I should probably get ready to buy this. I'm going to try to do a market order here. And we'll try to do about $100 margin maybe. So because Bitcoin is playing games where we're going down to the lows for today, I could just put my stop loss right below the lows for today if I want to buy here at 86,348. So let's see how much lower Bitcoin's going to go. A little bit crazy because I thought that Bitcoin, I thought we were getting some buying pressure here, but it looks like we came down. Did we come down just to take me out of my stop loss? Is that what we decided to do here today? Because it looks like we kind of climbed back up again. But this is okay, because if this ends up being the next higher low, then I can just put a stop loss below here and re-enter at 86,500. Let's see what we decide to do here on the 5-minute time frame. Got a little bit low. We stopped me out. Now we're coming back up again. Okay. Let's see what the 15-minute time frame looks like. Yeah, we still got a little bit of buying pressure here. I would like to see more buying pressure, but you know, we still got the buying pressure that we got right now. Back to the 5-minute time frame. Let's see, DZ says, alt season doesn't mean it needs to pump. It can just bleed, and that will be the new alt season. Okay. DZ says that this cycle sucks. Yeah, it didn't seem so great to me either. And I think Bitcoin's going to go up only because we're seeing bullish divergence showing up on the charts here. Let me get back in the trading view. Like you can see that buying pressure is starting to show up here on the 15-minute time frame. And you can see that the RSI, we're making higher lows here on the RSI. So that's bullish divergence there. It means that, you know, the price could still go down, but it's less likely to go down. The price could go sideways. It's more likely to go sideways than it is to go down. And then there's probably an increasing chance that it's going to start going up again with this bullish divergence. So let me get back in here. So alright, so they stopped me out. I want to wait to see if we get a red candle here to try to buy Bitcoin again, to do a long here on Bitcoin. But watch this thing just carry on up, like haha, it stopped you out, and then just continue on to higher prices. Let's see, we got like 40 more minutes left before Wall Street goes home and they're done selling today. Remember, Wall Street's got a lot of Bitcoin to sell, a lot more than me and you. And what I've noticed the last couple of days and, you know, last few weeks is that when Wall Street goes home, we actually get a relief rally later on that night. Doesn't happen right away because sometimes retail is like me and you, right? Sometimes they get back home and they look at the, you know, they're not able to go look at Bitcoin on their computer at work because maybe they don't even have a computer at work. But when they get back home, sometimes retail clicks the sell button, so then there might be a little bit more selling. But then later on that night, after everybody's done selling, then we start getting a relief rally. At least that's what I've noticed. And this is like, I know I got some of my viewers are in Europe, but this is like around America, around like you know, West Coast time. Like when the Americans are done selling is when we actually get a relief rally. And the crazy thing about crypto and Bitcoin is that the Americans also have the most amount of Bitcoin compared to like Europe and Asia. So when the Americans are selling, it can get brutal out there. But then, you know, vice versa, when the Americans are buying, that's when it looks really great for crypto. Gustavo, thank you for following me here. Gustavo's asking, how do you trade for free? Well, let me see. I can send you a link to try to join Mexi here. Just message me on TikTok, and I'll send you the link to join Mexi. Mexi does allow you to trade some cryptocurrencies for free. Let's see. So this is Mexi Exchange. That's the exchange I'm using. And some of the cryptos that you could trade for free, like you could trade Ethereum for free. Solana for free, Zcash, Aster, Sui you can trade for free. There's no trading fees on those pairs. Matter of fact, I don't even know why I'm trading Bitcoin. I could be trading Ethereum instead, and not get charged any fees. But here I am trading Bitcoin. But anyways, yeah, you get started on Mexi, and then what I would do, you know, since you're a brand new trader, I'm assuming you're a brand new trader. Let's see, I gotta try to figure this out right here. But yeah, if you go over here to futures, right? You want to go down to like demo trading and use fake money first, okay? I click on demo trading, okay? Then you could get the same platform. It's the same interface, right? But you're using like monopoly money, fake money, and you can put in how much monopoly money you want to use, right? They let you use like I think like $50,000 of US dollar tether here, USDT. Okay, and you can put in, you know, on your trades, you know, I want to start trading. Okay, I want to open up a long. You got to figure out how much margin you're going to use. Imagine that, $1,400 of going into Bitcoin at 10x leverage. Look at that, 10x leverage, $1,400. And you can pretend to be a baller, I guess. But you can open up a long, right? There you go, open up a long. $86,000 is where you'll get in on Bitcoin, and your liquidation's at $78,000. And you click open long, boom. And I guess I did a limit order and it didn't fill. I should have done a market order. Let me do a market order so you can see it get filled immediately. Alright, so I doing a market order and I click open long, boom. There you go. I'm now in a Bitcoin long. 10x long with like how much margin? $4,800 of margin? Jesus, I put a little bit too much in there. But let's see. Let's see if this thing can get into the green, and then I'll click flash close and get out. Oh no, there's red. Oh no, there's some more red. Oh my god, whatever. I'm just gonna click flash close. But if you click flash close, it immediately sells your order without, you know, any like it'll immediately sell it right away. Oh no, 38 bucks. Oh damn. Down low right there. All right, so let me just close that out. Bam. All right, so that's demo trading there on Mexi Exchange. All right, let's get back into the regular trading, into my regular trading account here. So I got a little bit distracted there. Bitcoin climbed up. So it did its thing. It stopped me out, and I'm trying to get back into Bitcoin again. And I was looking for a red candle, but then we ended up getting another green candle here. But that's okay. That's okay. Because this is showing what I already suspected, that we might be bottoming out here on Bitcoin at 86K. And this could be the beginning of a higher low. And then we want to see some higher highs. And then another higher low. And higher high. And maybe we can get a rally going on like we saw last night. And even though I want to put my stop loss at 86K, I could still do that. I would just have to probably do less leverage. Or I could put the stop loss below the low that we kind of created right here at 86,287. I might have to do that. Just do low leverage and put the stop. I'll do low leverage and put the stop loss at 86K. So I'm gonna lighten up on the leverage here. I'm gonna go from 40x to 20x. Because I don't like to lose more than $20 on my stop losses here. So if I'm wrong, I don't want to lose more than 20 bucks. So I'm gonna now try to do a market order. I'm gonna try to buy Bitcoin here, even though I'm waiting for a red candle. I don't know if I'm gonna get a red candle. And about 100 bucks in margin is what I want. And take profit stop loss is gonna be, we're aiming for 88,400 was the lows from yesterday. And my stop loss is going to be 86K. I'll lose $19 on that stop loss. Alright, so let me get back in it again. Here we go. Let's do it. Bam. So if we come down to 86K, then I'll get stopped out. And my stop loss is, I'm only going to lose $18. Okay? But if we do go down to 86K, then that probably means we're not done going down on Bitcoin. So I probably don't even want to be in Bitcoin if that's the case. But if we go down to like 86,100 and then climb back up again, if I don't get stopped out, and that's as low as we go, that's fine. That means we're done going down, at least for today. And we can see how much money I'll be able to make on my long here on Bitcoin. DZ says we're going back up for now. All right, Lorraine's asking about Discord right now. Let's see, what is there anything good going on in Discord? Tommy the Gun says Co-AI has been consolidating a long time. Yeah, but I think it's still on its way down to like 40 or 30 cents, Tommy. Until we get a lot more bullish price action on Co-AI, I think Co-AI is slowly bleeding down to like 30 or 40 cents. Thank you, Lorraine, for letting people know to tap the screen and share the live. If you guys double tap the screen, that's how you can send a like. That lets TikTok know that you guys are enjoying the live stream, and they'll start sending more people to the live stream. Appreciate that. And for my YouTube guys, all you gotta do is hit that like button, and you can just share and subscribe. Appreciate that as well. Dread, what is Dread saying here? Dread, wait a little, LOL. You want me to wait a little before I buy and go long on Bitcoin? I was trying to wait. What Bitcoin did was they took out my stop loss, and then they decided to send it higher. As I've seen that before. I've seen that play out before. And then I was trying to wait for a red candle, but the red candles never showed up. We just kept buying. Looks like we're trying to head up to this 50 moving average on the 5-minute time frame here. We might get rejected here. If we get rejected here, I want to see if we make another higher low, and then I can try to buy some more, maybe increase the leverage again. But here we go. We're going above the 50 moving average right now. Let's see, what's the next one above us? Should be the 100, right? The 100 moving average is this blue line. 88,900 or 89,000, somewhere around there. But my take profit's at 88,400. I think that's reasonable, right? That's only about $1,000, $1,400 above us right now. As far as like moving my stop loss, I'll move it as the price goes up, but I like to wait until Bitcoin's about $500 above the. Like I like my stop loss to be about like $500 below the current price. So we're at $87,000, but I want to see if this holds here at 87,000, because we could immediately come right down to 86,500, and if I move my stop loss to 86,500, I'll get stopped out. But what I think I could do, I could put the stop loss right below the lows here. I'll do that. I'll do that right now. 86,250 seems like a good stop loss area. So now if I do get stopped out, I'm only going to lose 11 bucks. $11. And I'll just wait for the price to climb up a little bit more. You know, see if we're going to make higher highs, higher lows, and then I can move the stop loss to break even. And that's like the day in the life of a day trader there. Just managing your trades. This is what I'm doing, is managing the trade. This is why you kind of have to be at the computer and watching the price. I mean, you could just put a trade in and go to work and see if the trade stopped you out, or but like when you're at work, you're not able to move your stop loss unless you can do it on your phone, right? Or do it on a computer at your job. Then you gotta worry about, is your boss gonna look at you? Hey, what are you doing? What are you looking at? What's all that green and red stuff on the computer screen? You know? Hopefully one day you guys will be good enough to day trade where you can quit your job and you can do this full time. And then you don't have to worry about your boss saying, hey, what are you looking at over there on your computer screen? Why are you on your phone right now? Huh? Don't you know you're supposed to be at work? You're supposed to be doing work for us. We're not paying you to be on your phone. Put a 1 in the chat if you heard that from your boss. I'm wondering if you guys are day trading while you're at work. Put a 1 in the chat if that's happened to you, where your boss caught you on your phone or caught you on the computer looking at the charts. Leo says he's in a long right now. Maureen says it's going to go red. Just wait. So, yeah, we're getting a little bit of a rejection right now off of the 50 moving average on the 5-minute time frame for Bitcoin. Looks like we're coming right back to like the price that I entered at. The price that I entered at was 86,690. So I got a little bit of profit. Let's see what the profit looks like. I'm up $2. Yay! But what I'm really looking for now is, are we going to make a higher low, start going back up again, and then make a higher high? Because if we make a higher low, I can move my stop loss to the next higher low. And then, you know, even though we're coming back down to where I entered, I could enter again right now at this price. As long as we don't go lower than this higher low that we just made right here on the 5-minute time frame. Because if we go lower than this higher low, then I'm going to get stopped out. Let's see. Lonely just followed me here on TikTok, asking me, do I think it will be bearish or bullish? Right now, I think we're getting a kind of like a replay of yesterday and last night, where, you know, the price of Bitcoin started going up towards the late afternoon and evening hours, and I don't have all the data. I can only like kind of come up with a guess here. But my suspicion is that when Wall Street goes home for the day, and they'll be going home in like 30 minutes right now. Matter of fact, some of them might be leaving work early right now, playing hooky or whatever, and they might be done selling. And they have the most amount of Bitcoin to sell. So when they're done selling, like the majority of their Bitcoin, that's when buyers can come in and actually start pushing the price up here. And what I was looking at here on TradingView was, I did see some bullish divergence showing up on the 15-minute time frame, where we're seeing higher lows here on the RSI after making lower lows on the price. So we got some bullish divergence that was showing up. I already showed this on my live stream earlier. And, you know, we were trying to game plan, was this a possible bull flag? Like, if this is a bull flag, Lorene pointed out, like, oh, I think this could be a bull flag. And if this is a bull flag, if we're bullishly consolidating, then the measured move is this flagpole. You take it to where we could break out of the flag here. And it's saying we could get up to like 87,600. And 87,600 doesn't seem too far off because you got the 21 EMA on the 15-minute time frame. Could be where we get rejected initially. But it looks like the price is trying to get back up to that white line here. Let me go back to the 5-minute time frame. 5-minute time frame, this is what we're looking at here. Oh, interesting. Yeah, so 21 EMA, we're above the 21 EMA on the 5-minute time frame. And then the 50 moving average is above us at 88K. Go back in the 15-minute time frame. 50-minute time frame, that 50 moving average is way above us at like 90K. DZ's a little bit frustrated with Bitcoin right now. Yeah, it seems like Bitcoin's been dropping like a rock for like the past 2 months now. Yeah. And let's get into it here on the daily time frame here for Bitcoin. You know, we saw Bitcoin top out towards the beginning of October, and then October 10th it dropped down violently. You can thank Donald Trump for telling China that they were going to do 100% tariffs, and that dropped Bitcoin all the way down to like almost the 200-day moving average. Then we had a little bounce after that. Then Donald Trump said, "Just kidding," on Sunday. That was the little bounce that we got here. And then we still sell off because we weren't sure if, you know, Trump was actually going to go through on his tariff threat. And then they did a trade deal, and that sent us back up above the 50-day moving average. And this was like the last time that I was bullish on Bitcoin. But when we got above the 50-day moving average on the green line, we didn't stay there for too long. And then we dropped down, right? So this is when I started getting worried about Bitcoin, because when you're at the 200-day moving average, that's like the last line of defense before you start going into a bear market, okay? And we lost that line of defense here on November 3rd. I'm not sure what happened that day, but we did drop 3.6%, and then we dropped again, and then we kind of created a bear flag here. Got rejected off the 21 EMA. So you see with these moving averages are very useful, even on the larger time frames, especially on the larger time frames, but also on the smaller time frames. It's the same idea, just on a smaller time frame. Okay, so we got rejected off the 21 EMA on November 11th and got sent down and sent down. And now here's the thing that's worrying and frustrating. We haven't even climbed back up to the 21 EMA. That 21 EMA is sitting at 100K. Like, are we going to actually, you know, do a V-shaped recovery and a bounce? Because we've all been waiting for a bounce now. We haven't had a bounce since, like, beginning of November, where we got a little bit of a bounce, created this bear flag, only to get sent down. We got rejected off the 21 EMA. It'd be nice if we can go from 86K back up to the 21 EMA at $100,000, but this 21 EMA is now, you know, crashing down too. So by the time the 21 EMA comes down and the price climbs back up, the 21 EMA might be at like 93, 95K. And then maybe we get rejected off of 95K and go back down again. So yeah, it's very, very vicious, very brutal. All right, Bitcoin. Let's go back. Bitcoin's at 86,400. We're kind of like near my entry. What I got? Oh no, we're below it actually. Below my entry. I'm kind of inclined to like try to buy some more Bitcoin right now. Maybe I might wait for another red candle. Let's see. I want to buy some more Bitcoin at 86,400. I want to put that as a limit order here. 86,400. And I kind of want to do it with 40x leverage again. Confirm. And yeah, take profit. We'll try to 88,400, and I'll try to do a stop loss at 86,000. All right, okay, looks good to me. So I'll try to enter another long here at 88,400, stop loss at 86,000. Yeah, looks good to me. All right, so yeah, let's go back because I kind of want to look at what Bitcoin did in the last on the last sell-off from the all-time high back in 2021. Let's see how brutal of a sell-off that one was. So, because I feel like this sell-off is a lot more brutal than the one in 2021. So here we go. All right, so here back in 2021, Bitcoin topped out November 10th at $69,000. And, we had a drop here. Kind of, I don't know, I guess you could call this a bear flag, but it's like kind of slanted downward, and then we lost it. Then we lost the 50-day moving average on December 4th. We actually came down to the 200-day moving average on December 4th. And then this is where we were like treading, near the 200-day moving average. We were just trying to hold on for dear life. And then, let's see. So you kind of had like a lot of sideways action going on over here on December 10th, in December of 2021. And then right after New Year's is when we lost the 200-day moving average for good. Right, and I think this is what's going to happen later on this year, going into next year. A lot of people will start selling on like January 1st, January 2nd, the first week of January, like you saw here in January 2022. Because in America, when you sell, you got to pay taxes the next year. So if you sell in January 2026, you don't have to pay taxes until April 2027. Right? You're not going to get hit with taxes until 2027. So that's what some people were doing here. I actually did this myself with like some of the Ethereum that I had still. And I might do that again this year with my Solana. I still have some Solana that I'm probably not going to sell until the first week of January, maybe. So I don't have to pay taxes on that until a year later. But yeah, after the people that were selling taxes got finished selling, then we were definitely below the 200-day moving average. But you see, we didn't lose the 200-day moving average until January. In this cycle, we're losing the 200-day moving average. We lost that in November. And then, of course, more bear flags. More bear flags. That's what bear market is. Just bear flag, bear flag, bear flag. Looks like the selling kind of died down towards the end of January, right around tax time, After people were done selling their crypto to pay for their taxes, the sellers were done and buyers were able to come in and try to bid up the price here again. And we actually came up to the 200-day moving average on March of 2022, only for us to get rejected again, right? Because then you got the last minute people who do their taxes towards the end of tax season here, and they got to sell their crypto to pay their taxes. And then we go into like April and May where Bitcoin just keeps bleeding down. So I'm just giving you guys kind of like a preview of what to expect for next year, right? Tax time, around January you'll get the first sellers who are waiting till January, so that way they don't have to pay taxes till a year later. And then after they're done selling, then you might get a little bit of buying showing up here, And then towards like the end of March, going into the beginning of April, you'll get more people selling crypto to pay their taxes, right? And then that will send, Bitcoin down, lower into May. And then May, people kind of like, they're not really paying attention to crypto anymore. And I'm not sure what happened here, but in June, we dropped down in June as well. So, just another bear flag. And then a bear flag. We just keep making bear flags. Then we went sideways throughout like September and the summer of 2022. And then the FTX bankruptcy was like the last straw to break the camel's back. And then that's when Bitcoin actually bottomed out in November of 2022. So you can mark that in your calendar, right? If we're going to do the same thing that we did in 2021 going into 2022, then it took Bitcoin like a year to go through its bear market from the top here in November of 2021 to the bottom in November of 2022. If Bitcoin topped out in October of 2025, maybe we bottom out in October of 2026. A year-long bear market. I know you guys don't want to hear that, but I'm trying to help you guys navigate the markets as best as I can here. All right, I probably entered my long there on Bitcoin. Let's see. Let's go back to Mexi again. Yep, looks like I got filled. Oh no, you know what? I didn't. What? Oh my God. They came right down to like $86,400.90, and they left me hanging. They didn't even fill me before they shot it back up again. Oh my God. Yeah, they did that to me. Wow. You see that, Laureen? I tried to go long on Bitcoin at $86,400. They took it down to $86,400.90. I was only 90 cents away, and then they decided to send it back up again. Let me catch up on the chat here. What is DZ saying? Do I think we're gonna pump tomorrow? I don't know. Why would tomorrow be any different than today? We might get more of the same. We might see Bitcoin go back down again, make another lower low, go down to 84K, and then climb back up when Wall Street goes home for the weekend. Tommy the Gun, yeah, it is a crystal ball question. DZ, I can't predict the future like that. I can try, maybe, but I already gave you the levels to look for. We're looking for 84K if we continue to go lower. Right now, 86K is holding up, but 84K could be next, going into tomorrow. Let's look at Bitcoin on the 15-minute chart. See how that bullish divergence is playing out here. So I already showed you guys here the bullish divergence. We're making higher lows here on the RSI. That's why the bleeding is stopping for now. Just keep making higher lows. And we got to start seeing higher lows on the price as well. We're kind of doing that. They came in, they played games. They didn't want to fill me at 86,400, but whatever. But now I want to start seeing higher highs. Like, we were making higher highs on the 15-minute time frame. Let's keep doing that. I'll feel a lot better. I think a lot of people will feel a lot better if we can get above this last high that we made back here, 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Eastern time, we got as high as 87,619. I'm pretty sure you guys would like to see that $87,000 number come up here. I really can't believe they did that to me here on Mexi. Oh, are we gonna go down? Because if we're gonna go down, maybe I might have to chase this. Let's see if are they gonna actually film me? We got a on the 5-minute time frame. This is a shooting star candle. A lot of sellers showed up at 86,700. Shooting star candle is a price reversal candle, and it's a very strong bearish candle if it does play out that way. Now it's no longer a shooting star candle. Now it looks more like an indecision candle. And now we're going green. Still making higher lows on the 5-minute time frame here. Should I screenshot this just to show you like what my luck's been like today? I tried to get filled at 86,400. They came down to 86,490 cents. 90 cents away from getting filled. And they said, screw you, Damien. Let's go up. But I guess I should be okay because I am already in a long. I was just trying to buy some more, like, I don't know, DCA on the futures exchange right now. I was just trying to add to my long here, but they wouldn't let that happen. Is that what you did, Tommy? You told them I was trying to make the trade and you guys gave me the middle finger? Yeah, Lorene, it's crazy. Sometimes it feels that way, but sometimes, you know, if they have too much sellers selling and they see your stop loss, they need to fill it with the sellers, and sometimes it's enough to take you out. I'm pretty sure you feel better when you see the wick go down below where your stop loss was at. Then you're like, oh, thank God, it could have been a lot worse. But it's it's a knife to the heart when you see the wick go right down to your stop loss and then they send it back up. I think we've all been there before. In this case, they sent it down, didn't even fill me, and then they sent it back up. We got 10,000 likes here on TikTok. Thank you guys. Appreciate you guys hitting that like button there. Even though it's a kind of a crummy day to be trading, it's also a pretty bad day in the stock market world too. I know the NASDAQ and Dow Jones, they kind of got sold off a little bit. Ava Medina is in the chat. Good to see you, Ava Medina. Is it Ava or Ava? Like, what's the pronunciation for your name there? If you could like kind of like spell it out. Is it Ava or Ave? Uh-oh. Am I gonna get filled? Oh, look. Are they gonna do it again? Are they gonna play with me again? Oh God. Ava. Oh, Ave. 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 Okay, Ave. Ave Medina. Is Medina like? Is that Spanish or Portuguese? Sounds like it might be. All right, 5-minute time frame. Still making higher lows, except for that last 5-minute candle. We're kind of, but still higher than this low. I'll tell you what, they're making higher lows than what my freaking entry was at. I'm still trying to get filled right now, where I'm trying to get filled. I might have to click chase. I don't want to have to do that, but I might have to. 86,460 seems close enough, right? Let's go into the open orders here. So if you don't want to change things, if you just want to get into the trade, you're a little bit anxious to get in the trade, and it's close enough to your price, you guys can click chase here on Mexi, and it will try to give you the best price currently where it's at right now. And I just chased it. I got filled at 86,444. So I'm now in this Bitcoin trade, this Bitcoin long. It's now a 40x long. And nothing's changed. Well, actually, I should probably check my stop loss, make sure everything was good there. So now I got on the take profit stop loss, I got two orders here. On the first long that I got in at, I put in that I wanted, you know, to be stopped out at 86,252. And my take profit's at 88,400, and then the second take profit, the second order, my stop loss is at 86K, and the take profit's at 88,400. And you know, that's with a little bit more Bitcoin right there on the order. So right now, between those two orders, my average entry is now 86,532. And I can always change this up. I can delete or edit these orders if I want to. I can just get rid of it and just make it one stop loss and one take profit. I'll just leave that for now. Okay. Oh, would you look at that? They actually came in to 86,400 after I chased it. So, you know, if I was a little bit more patient there, I probably could have got filled at 86,400. Just more games that they play here. Ugh. So on this last 5-minute candle, we came down to 86,387. So I didn't need the chase, but I did. But anyways, it's close enough. I'm not gonna cry over it. I just want Bitcoin to start making higher lows and higher highs. Let's not get me stopped out here. If I get stopped out here, I will lose $7. And if I get stopped out at 86K, I will lose $25. That's acceptable to me. It'll be about $32 altogether if I get stopped out on both of these stop losses. But now I'm just waiting. I'm just waiting for higher prices, just like everybody else, right? Can we stop going down? Can we start going up? Now Bitcoin is playing games here where we're trying to challenge this stop loss here at 86,250. How you guys enjoying the live stream here? I've been doing day trading here. I know in some of my previous live streams I've done requests, and we did some requests. We talked about ALCX and Toshi, Solana. But I think this is kind of fun to watch actual day trading and try to get ideas like, how do I actually go about doing trades? You know, I talk about your coins, and when I talk about your coins and your requests, I'm looking at the daily time frame. I'm not actually looking at it as from a day trading perspective. Unless you guys request me to go look at the smaller time frames, then I'll get into the smaller time frames. But this is kind of cool to see, like, how does Damien trade? Like, what is Damien looking for? How does Damien set up his charts? And I set him up the same way. You know, I still got the 21 EMA. I got the 50 moving average. And then, you know, above that's going to be the 100 moving average. And then above that is the 200 moving average. You know, this is we're in a bear trend, or we're coming off of a downdraft here. And you can just play these moving averages as your take profit. Like my first take profit, if I was doing moving average, I would probably take profit at 86,700, which is where that 50 moving average is at. And then the second take profit target would be like this 100 moving average, this blue line at 88,680. Now I already got my take profit at 88,400, which is kind of close to where that moving average is right now. But that's how I try to play things here, using the moving averages. All right, are we starting to get a little bit of bounce? So this still qualifies as a higher low, even though it got a little scary there. We got down to like 86,329. That's still higher than the lows here at 86,287. So there's hopefully that higher low. And now as we climb up, we want to get past the 21 EMA, get past this 50 moving average, and we want to actually get above the high here on the 5-minute time frame, 87,088. So that way we can then say we made a higher high. And if we do that, then, you know, traders, investors, the trading bots, the professional traders around the world, they start to become more confident that we got an uptrend going on over here on Bitcoin. And then they'll start putting more money to work. They'll start buying more Bitcoin if we can prove that we're actually doing an uptrend here. Hey, Ave Medina, you're making some coffee? Is it that good ass coffee or whatever whatever Road Dogg puts on his live streams? Some good ass coffee. I actually need to get some water myself. You guys can excuse me for about a few seconds here. I'm just doing iced water, not coffee. But that sounds like we'll take a little bit of a water break here. 30-second water break. I'll be back in like 30 seconds. I'll leave the screen on here for you guys so you can watch the chart, the live trade action here. Alright, I'm back with you guys. Nice little water break there. Lorraine wants me to look at TNSR. And CoAI was so low, is what you said? Is CoAI kind of getting some bids going on? Let's see, I'm actually curious. I think CoAI was, I was expecting it to go to like 40 or 30 cents here. How low did you go? 49 cents. Okay, CoAI. But, you know, for those of you who were following me last month and watching CoAI, obviously CoAI has come down just as fast as it went up to like 20 bucks here. And I have a level that I'm looking for, which is 36 cents for CoAI. And I'm getting that by looking at the VRVP indicator here. And the VRVP indicator is this green and red bar indicator off on the right. And it's showing that the point of control is at like 30. See this blue line at like 33, maybe 34 cents here. So I marked that off on the chart as like that's a expected area where CoAI might actually stop the bleeding. Doesn't mean it's guaranteed to do that. It could go lower than that, or it could stop going down right now and go up. Especially if Bitcoin goes up to 100K, I would expect CoAI to bottom out where it is right now and start moving up to higher prices. But if Bitcoin's going to continue bleeding down to like 80K or even into the 70s, then I expect CoAI to bleed down until it gets to like 30 cents or 40 cents, and then the bleeding might stop. Yeah, we're gonna check out TNSR. I'm just looking at CoAI because Lorraine did mention it. All right, let's look at TNSR. TNSR. All right. Oh, no wonder you guys want me to look at TNSR. This thing's up 200% today. Of course. Like, why weren't you guys asking about this yesterday or even, 2 days ago? How come you guys want me to look at it after it already broke out? Like, what is going on? Is there any news today? Is there anything that I need to know about with this cryptocurrency? This doesn't help me. Being up 200%. How am I gonna make money? I could try shorting it, maybe. But I mean, this thing. I mean, the best time to short this was like when it went up to like 36 cents. Now it's already coming down. So like the move's been made. But I'll still take a look at this thing for you. All right, so TNSR. I'm gonna do a Fibonacci on this. Try to figure out what the levels might be for this thing. All right, so we're already coming down to the 618 golden pocket at like 23 cents, 23, 24 cents. That's your golden pocket level. That's a normal level to expect the pullback to come down to. So you already did that in 1 day, less than 1 day. In the same day, you already came down to the 618. Yeah, this thing's gonna continue bleeding down after shooting up like this, because that's kind of what cryptocurrencies do. We shoot up, we don't maintain our levels, and then we come right back down to where we started at. So I mean, I should really just say, like, TNSR is probably gonna come right back down to where it started at like 8 cents here. Okay. However, it might be a slow bleed, right? Where if this thing acts like any other cryptocurrency, it's gonna probably come down to the 0.32 level. It might get a bounce off there, come back up to the 0.618 level, get rejected, and then come back down. And if Bitcoin's going to 70K, then this thing will probably drop all the way down to the 0.236 level at 11 cents. And 11 cents is right where that 200-day moving average is at. And then it might get a bounce off that, and then come back up, maybe make a lower high at like 19 cents here at that 0.5 level, and then come back down, and maybe it'll drop below the 200-day moving average and come right back to where it started at 3 cents on November 18th. I mean, if it's gonna do what every other cryptocurrency has done this past year, then that's probably what it's gonna look like. Okay. But yeah, the levels to look for on the downside, this thing could come back to the 200-day moving average sitting at 11 cents. All right, that's your downside target. If this thing, for some reason, decides to continue being bullish, then we gotta start looking at the upside targets. You got a 786 at 29 cents, and then can we get back up to 36 cents like we did earlier today? And then you got the 1272 at 45 cents here. All right. Let's see what the oscillators are doing here. RSI is overbought here, as it should be. RSI is at 90. MACD is showing that there's buying pressure. If you start seeing light green, then you know that the bull run's probably coming to an end on this asset. Because light green just signifies that buying pressure is dying down, and then you'll get a MACD flip and you'll start seeing red candles. And then here on Market Cipher B, you got money flow obviously coming in, and momentum is rising. And you're just waiting for like a red sell dot to come in. You got a green buy dot that came in yesterday, but when that red sell dot comes in, like you see like right over here, could mean that this thing is done going up for now. But you haven't had that yet, so the jury's still out as to whether this thing's going to continue going up or if it's going to go down. We just don't know yet. All right. But I bet you if I get into the smaller time frames, there's probably some bad stuff showing up. We're looking at the 1 hour time frame right now. Looks like you got like bullish consolidation going on. You got your bull flag here. Right. I know Laureen's she's on the lookout for that those bull flags. So we got that going on right there. Cool. Got a bull flag or bull pennant, however you want to call it. Let's see, if you're short-term day trading this right now, you can do this as your bull flag here. And if you are going to continue going up to higher prices, 45 cents. Wow. Okay. Was that a target that we're looking at? 45 cents is your 1272. If it does play out. Yeah. Let's get back into that 1 hour time frame again. All right. And on the 1 hour time frame, you got moving averages below you. 200 moving average sitting at 6 cents. I don't know if that's going to help anybody here. But 21 EMA, most likely to get hit first, is going to be at 18 cents. And your buying pressure is dying down right now in the 1 hour time frame. You got a red sell dot here at 11 a.m. Eastern time. Momentum's coming down. So yeah, you topped out for now, at least on the 1 hour time frame. And your RSI is creeping down. If it continues that way, it's going to drag the price down with it. All right, I'm going to go back into Bitcoin again, see what the Bitcoin trade's looking like. Hey, some green candles on the 5 minute time frame for Bitcoin. Can we make a higher high than what we did here about an hour ago? Roughly? Can we get higher than 87,088? Let me see if I can make a line in the sand here. Can we get higher than that? Yeah. I thought this was going to make a longer line than that, but can we get higher than that maybe? Do that, you know, get above 87,000 and you're making higher highs and making an uptrend. What if Tensor pulls a Zcash? Well, if it does that, then you're going to make a lot of money with Tensor, right? Because that's what Zcash already done. You just need 10x to get all your money back? Oh man, I want a 10x too. Where is the next 10x? Shoot, I know there's stock market bros out there that want to know where the next 10x is. If you can help us find the next 10x, then you know, I'm pretty sure the stock market guys would try to jump on board with that too. They'll start buying crypto if you can find one that can do that for us. DZ, are you trying to request Sapien right there? Is that a request for Sapien? Lorraine says, check it on the 15 minute. You want me to check Tensor on the 15 minute? Yeah, I want to know where Cameron gets some of his trading ideas, because he does find some good coins to get into for his trades. Maybe I can like make a new Discord channel for like how to do trade setups or like what is your next trade setup, and then Cameron can just give us his potential trades that he's looking at. We can just copy trade Cameron. Alright, let's get back to Tensor. So Tensor, you want me to look at Tensor on the 15 minute? Is that the request here? So yeah, it's just, you know, in a bull flag, consolidating right now. If you're gonna try to play the bull flag, you want to try to buy near the uptrend. So like when you're uptrending like you're doing right now, like you could buy now, but maybe wait till it gets a little bit lower, and then you could get a better buy. But also on this bull flag here, we are getting towards the end of this bull flag. It's filling out. Like it should fill out. Well, it'll fill out completely around 7 o'clock. There should be some resolution here, but you might get some resolution in the next hour or two where this thing is gonna have to make a decision. There's three ways this thing could play out. Okay, you could go sideways and just frustrate the hell out of everybody, not making money for anybody, long or short. Or you could start making, you know, lower lows here, maybe back test the uptrend, only for you to get rejected and then come down. That's one way this thing could play out. Or if it's going to be a bull flag and do the bull thing here, then this thing is actually going to go up. Maybe it back tests the downtrend here, creates a higher low, and then shoots off to the races. Hopefully my drawings don't look too crazy there. But yeah, oh, so now it looks like, all right. So if you're bullish on Tensor and you think this is a bull flag, you could buy right now because you're near the uptrend. You're on the bottom of the uptrend. It looks like you're about to lose the uptrend. I guess it all depends on how you draw the bull flag, right? If you draw like, you know, let me see, if you kind of redraw it like this, then you can say, oh, we're actually at the uptrend. But if you had it like the way I had it, you'd be like, oh, we're losing the uptrend right now. So it all depends on how you want to draw it. But you know, you gotta stick to one thing. Like right now, I thought you could just stick to the candle wick to candle wick. And looks like we're wicking down right now to the uptrend. Oh, look at that! Someone decided to buy right now. But yeah, this would be the time to try to scoop it up on the low. And then if you do shoot up, you know, you're making money as you get into the top of the bull flag here. You could then sell when it gets to like 27 cents. Come back, try it one more time to buy at like 24, 25 cents again. And then you shoot up. Or you can just stay in the trade, right? You just, you know, buy here, put your stop loss below this last candle wick low here. And, you know, this thing plays out, and then it shoots up to the upside. You make money, you cash out. Oh, Bitcoin's at 87K. Look at that. We're at 87K right now on Bitcoin. The candle wick high that we got to get above is 87,088. So that's what I really want to see with Bitcoin here. That's why I got that blue line here. Because if it does that, then you know we're in an uptrend. We're making higher highs than this last high, which is higher than this last high. And of course, we've been making higher lows. That's good to see as well. So there might be some promise. There might be some hope. Hopium. Guys, we're at $87,100 on Bitcoin. 86K might have been the low for today. Hopefully it's the low for the year. Hopefully we never see 86K again. That's a lot of hope there. But hopefully like 86K is the low for today and we can make money going up later on tonight. Yes, let's do this. Come on, let's make money going long. I'm tired of trying to make money going short. Like that was last month. Like we're on a new month now. Okay, let's make money going up. DZ says, I just need Bitcoin to hold and stop dumping. You and me both, bro. We both need Bitcoin to stop dumping. Oh, Laureen, you're saying there's a bear flag on the 15-minute for Bitcoin? Alright, let's get into the 15-minute here. Well, Laureen, it could be a bear flag, you know. On the 15-minute time frame, right? We want to see Bitcoin actually get higher than this high here around 115 when Bitcoin was at 87,700. So I guess that's like the next target for the short-term day traders here. Can we get above that? I want to get above this area now. So I'll draw that out. 87,700, somewhere around that area. So can Bitcoin get past that level? Because if it does, then, you know, then it looks really bad for the bears. Because then the bears, the only thing the bears can hope for is that this ends up being a bear flag. I don't want to mess up my chart right here. Let me get into Bitcoin on TradingView here. But Laureen, you said bull flag, and now you're trying to say bear flag. You said bull flag, but I think that was like on the 5-minute chart, right? But now you think we're in a bear flag. Okay, well, possibly. Let's see if I can try to draw this out here. Good. So, yeah, I mean, it could be a bear flag. It could be a bear flag with Bitcoin on the 15-minute. If that's the case, then, you know, how far down could we go if this is a bear flag? I got the flag pole. I got the flag here. If we break down below 86K, looks like we could see Bitcoin go to 81K. That blue number right there. DZ saying, Damien, you know how some people, hella people, sold and thought the top was in? DZ, if you're saying hella, that makes me think that you might be from the West Coast. Are you in California there, DZ? Because I know California people say hella. And East Coast people, especially the people that live in New England, they say wicked. They say wicked cool. California people say hella cool. DZ said, what if the market makers did it on purpose? And you said that you and Porky are from California. If the market makers dumped it on purpose, first of all, the market makers, they don't have more Bitcoin than the whales. The whales, you know, I mean, I guess some market makers like Binance could be considered a whale. But then there's whales that go on Binance and they sell more Bitcoin than Binance could ever hope to sell. So the whales, if they decide to buy up Bitcoin while the market makers are trying to sell, then the market makers are not going to be able to dump the price because the whales will come in and scoop it up. But the whales have actually been selling their Bitcoin. I think my music might have came off. Oh God, I did more than the 2-hour live stream here because my music came to an end. But I'm enjoying myself on the live stream here with you guys. I did need to go to the gym. I gotta do that at some point, and then I gotta go to work. I gotta go check up on the cars and stuff like that. But yeah, as far as like market makers, they would have to do a coordinated sell-off because, you know, and that would be part of manipulation maybe, because it's not just one market maker. There's got to be more than one market maker. There's got to be all the exchanges have to do it at the same time to dump the price of Bitcoin. So I'm not sure if you can even say that that's a true conspiracy theory. But why would they do that? Why would they try to, you know, crush their customers? Because they'll lose customers if they give up on crypto and go back to, you know, the stock market or whatever else they were doing. I think they would try to encourage people to buy Bitcoin and help them actually make money, so that way they continue to buy more Bitcoin. Like if there was any manipulation where they thought they could make a quick buck by dumping the price of Bitcoin and coordinating with other exchanges to do the same thing, then it would just be that. It would just be a quick buck, and then they destroy their long-term customers. I don't think they would actually want to do that. I think they would rather manipulate it to the upside where their customers are making money, and then their customers decide to buy more Bitcoin where they make even more money. I just think what happened was just natural. Like, I listened to another crypto channel, Crypto Banter, and they were saying that a lot of Bitcoin whales, right, the guys who've been around for like 9 or 10 years in Bitcoin, they bought Bitcoin below $1,000, and some of them already had like $1 billion worth of Bitcoin back then. Now they have multiple billions of dollars, but they didn't sell their Bitcoin in 2017 and 2021 because Bitcoin, the market couldn't absorb it. The market couldn't absorb $1 billion of Bitcoin getting sold on like Coinbase or whatever exchange, Binance or whatever. Now the market can absorb it. It still hurts, but they can sell, you know, $1 billion worth of Bitcoin, and it might only drop the price down like 2 or 3%. And that's what we've been getting these past few days, is Bitcoin going down like, you know, 2 or 3% in one day. You know, some days it's like 5%, but other days it's like 2 or 3%. Like yesterday, we only went down 1% and people were freaking out. I mean, we kind of had like a little bit of a bounce back, but today we're down 4% on Bitcoin. Okay. And there's billions and billions of dollars being traded on Bitcoin. Whereas like 4 or 5 years ago, I mean, that would have took out like 10 or 20% drop in price if they tried to offload their Bitcoin. So long story short, what he's trying to say, Crypto Banter, is saying that the whales are finally offloading at 100K. That's why every time we go up slightly, we get up to like 123K, we get sold. We go up to 124K, we get sold. We go to 126K, we get sold, because the market can absorb it at those prices. There's enough Bitcoin out there to go around where people will still buy Bitcoin at 100K. And now, you know, now they are, the whales are selling and retail is selling, institutional investors are selling, everybody's selling. And now we're able to get the Bitcoin price to go below 100K. We're at 87K now. Let me get back at the 15-minute time frame. So we are at 87K. That is nice to see, but we are getting rejected. We got a little bit of a downtrend going on now, but we still got this uptrend here. But we could see Bitcoin come back down. You know, it could come back down to where I bought Bitcoin at, 86,400. Let's get into the 5-minute time frame. I want to see us continue making higher lows. I got my stop loss at 86,250. I'm going to keep it there for now, because we could come down and still make a higher low. That's what I want to see. And then continue making, you know, our way up to higher prices again. But let's see. At 87K, I'm up 45 bucks. $45. Should I sell and call it a day, guys? Be happy with my 45 bucks? Should I stay in the trade a little bit longer and see if I can make more than 45? Let's see. I'm gonna take profit. If I hit take profit, I'll make $90 on one of the order blocks here. And then the other one I'll make $50. So if I stay in the trade, I'll make 140 bucks. If we actually get up to 88K though, we gotta get up to 88K. That's where my take profit is at. I'm gonna have to manage the trade later, but I'm not gonna really try to stay around for that long. This could, it could be towards the end of the night and we could see 88K. And I don't plan on doing that long of a live stream here. But I appreciate you guys coming out to live stream. Thank you for your requests. We'll just have to maybe try to do this tomorrow. I'll probably do it a little bit earlier than I did today. Tomorrow is my birthday, so I'll try to do a live stream, but I might make it short because I am gonna go out for dinner for my birthday. Yep. So there you go. Tomorrow will be a birthday live stream. Oh, Hulk Smash is in the chat. Good to see you, Hulk Smash. Yep, tomorrow is my birthday. See, let me just catch up on the chat here. DZ said, "You're right. We're gonna have alt season. The exchange makes money off alts. Can you imagine us only trading Bitcoin? Not much fees for the exchanges." And Ava Medina's birthday was November 11/11. 11/11. Make a wish. I think that's the same day as my cousin. I have a cousin, Stephanie, and she her birthday's around that time. So there's a bunch of Scorpios. They're everywhere. I heard that Scorpios, you know, the October, November babies, they're the most, only in America, not in like any other country, but there's more Scorpios than any other zodiac sign. And I guess it's because people get busy on Valentine's Day, and then 9 months later you get a bunch of October, November babies. So I'm one of them. And I also have a brother of mine. He's an October baby, and I guess my parents got busy around Valentine's Day. Yes, Ava Medina. Make a wish that the bull run comes back. Bitcoin goes back above 100K. I think that's going to be my wish for tomorrow. I mean, should I tell my wish? Because if you tell people your wishes, then the wish doesn't come true, right? You got to keep it to yourself, right? I guess when I blow out the candles, I'll try to make a wish that positive things happen for crypto. How about that? Alright, but anyways, as I'm about to finish off this live stream, we're on the 15-minute time frame here for Bitcoin. I think we might have seen the lows for today. MACD showing that the selling pressure died off this afternoon, and towards the late afternoon, buying pressure is coming and increasing here. You're seeing higher lows on the 15-minute time frame. You're seeing higher lows on the 5-minute time frame. You're seeing higher highs here. We got as high as 87,400, so that's good to see. I want to see another higher high where we get above 87,700, 713, somewhere around that area. Because then that would show that we're actually making an uptrend here for Bitcoin on the small time frames here. And then of course, you know, my take profit on my Bitcoin long is 88,400, which is the lows from like yesterday. That was like the 84,500 is like how low we got yesterday. So I'm thinking that anybody that bought yesterday and they're just a short-term trader, they're gonna click the sell button just to break even, and I'm gonna click the sell button with them at 88K here. But yeah, guys, that's it for the trade so far. I'm up $58 on the Bitcoin long. I like that. I'm just gonna manage the trade off the live stream. I'm gonna try to move the stop loss when I see more higher lows get formed here. Okay. But yep, that's going to be it. If you guys want to continue the conversation, I'll be on the Discord. And I'll be going to the gym, lifting some weights in the meantime. Trying to get the gains at the gym while getting the gains in crypto. Take care, guys, and good luck trading and investing in whatever asset you decide to get into. Take care, guys.